Day 51 of my budget bungalow build. I had a problem with my computer that I'm using for making videos. So I'm now using my old one. And so don't worry, I'm not asking you any donations or anything. I'll buy the computer myself. Like you can see, I don't have PayPal, I don't have Patreon, I do not accept gifts. I don't have memberships. But I'm just sharing you that this computer won't connect to the internet. So I was there busy last night. Me and old B was helping me get my old computer back and running. The mini Mac. And so hopefully it be sorted. And I had a lot of positive comments of how they have been inspired with this budget bungalow and learning from me, which is really outweighs the nega from the experts. You know, the experts that, oh, you're not treating your workers well, but when you look at them, they're the one that's firing people. But I'm really pleased that a lot has been learning. A lot is inspired, which is what is my purpose of my channel anyways, to give information and share to you the mistakes, the faults, and what is there to be done, so you won't have to pay for such mistake in your build. So we're nearing here to see what's the progress. This is day 51, first day of the week, Monday. I came here today and then realized that Fredo went home because he's not been very well last week because of his heart, and then again this week he just got feeling something not right, so he decided to go home. So I got the Loy there trying to finish all the muck on the wall, and I only got the old Tony and the old Lito there making the frames for the windows. Hopefully it's all be done, then they can transfer here on the rendering of the walls, because if Fredo's not been very well, he seemed to have like a heart murmur or something, because he's also feeling like dizzy or something. But he already have been tested of all this COVID thing when he's negative. But this heart problem that he had seems to be a long time ago, and it's coming on and off, and he's been feeling that on and off. So he had a weeks off again today. His missus just told me that he was here this morning and had to go home because he's not been feeling very well. So like the law is forced now to do it himself, which I think he is really capable of, but he's just doubting. You know, he's kama umliday ka dong. Okay na eh. Okay ra kay na imong agi. So I believe he's capable of doing this, but he's just scared to try. So here we are, day 51. I only got 3 workers because Freddie went home. But I don't want him to force here if he got that heart feeling that his heart's weakening or something, because it seems to be an inheritance disease on his family. His father also had it. Grandfather also have it. So they seem to have like a weak heart. But anyway, since it's locked down, we can't get the window. We just slowly do the finishing, and the old people's in there already, so there's not a lot to be done. I don't want be able to have there won't be any problem now, because the old house is not livable. It's all demolished. So we're just concentrating on here, the rendering, and hopefully Fredo will get better soon. But I don't want him to be forcing that, because I want to talk now about if your employees is injured on the job and it's job related, you as the employer, even though they're only working for you on that project, you have the responsibility to pay for the medical bills. I have spent a lot of money for some of my workers before when I was building my castle, my other house projects. When they got injured on the job, to be responsible for the medical bills, even if not, because I got one worker before that he was injured because he was drunk on his own party on his own house, because that was a holiday. I still have to contribute a little bit, even one, and it was not done on my job site. It was done because he's negligent in his own party. He was so drunk and he fell over. But like someone else noted, even if the worker was negligent on the job, you still have to be responsible for the medical bills because it's job related. And what I've done before, that I also contribute, even though the injury was done in his own party, it's just for humanitarian reason. I just feel sorry for him and all that he break his arm, that fell over. But also I got so many, like I have contributed to my workers' wife giving birth, paid for that, and my worker's mother died, paid for the coffin. You know, it's not it's not your obligation, but you just have to look at if it's you can help, if it's a good worker. Ano, nagbalik ka? Sakto na. I'm just telling him that don't bother to get the strings on. Just smoothing it out. And yes, it's up to you to contribute to their predicaments, like problems, like one of the workers' mother, and they're so poor that they're struggling to put her in a coffin, so I just buy the coffin for her and even pay for her funeral plot, so it's all sorted. And I had so many things that I help people with. Some paid you back by being so hardworking on the job. Make sure that your project is finished, nothing anymore to come back to. Some, after you help them, take the opportunity to leave the job so that he won't able to pay you. But like I said, I just charge it to the hazards of the job. So this time, what's happening with Predo, it's a good opportunity for me. The question that, are you responsible for the injuries of the workers if it's job related, if it's in your work job site? Yes, you are. As the employer, you are responsible for the job related injuries, illnesses, even if the worker is negligent. And their personal problems, if you want to help, it's now your prerogative if you want to or not. But when I started before, I've seen some that I will not hesitate to help because they're really hardworking, especially the one that I trusted with my castle. I have given him all the assistance, all his children been born. I'm paying for that. Give him all my old furniture stuff to make his house more livable for his children, and so many things. Even his children, one of his child make an accident. I also was the one who pay for it just to make sure that he won't stop working, because we're on that time building my castle. So, and he's also very hardworking. But Yeah, and also if you're hiring them, the benefits of Pag-ibig SSS, you are not obligated, because us, like right now, basically you are just a project hiring, and they are considered, although there's no self-employed people here, you are considered like hiring them. They're self-employed, they are selling their labor to you. So if you're a company, usually you just would do a withholding tax on their wages. But since I'm not a company, I'm a personal taxpayer, they are responsible for their own taxes because they are considered like self-employed. So the SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, they are also responsible for that because your hiring is for job basis. So I'm only hiring them for the bungalow. And like I said, my regular workers are only Daloy and Olito. Then to avoid all that regularity, you need to stop, which I will soon do with the other workers. And but with the Deloy and Julito, I'm paying, like Deloy, I'm paying for his SSS voluntarily because it's so hassle to pay him as a domestic help. So I just pay it like voluntary contribution. He don't want any Pag-ibig because before, when it's not compulsory, the Pag-ibig contribution, it's only recently that it is compulsory. But Daloy don't want Pag-ibig. What he want, I gave him his own house and lot. I mean, the lot that he's in is mine, so he can have that. I built him his house, and also I help his family. So he said only SSS, so because he don't wanna be less wages, having less wages every week because of contributions. So I only paid his voluntary SSS contributions, and that's all you are obligated to. You're not, when you're just picking them up that you want this done, you're not, we don't usually pay for their benefits unless you're hiring them longer than 5 months, 6 months and over. Then they be considered as a regular employee. Then you are now liable for their SSS Pag-ibig benefits.